You want to find time to write this holiday season? Are you worried that you might not be able to? Well, me too. That's why I made a list of my 6 favorite tricks for finding time to write during chaos, because that's so often what the holidays feel like. So, number one is to address the belief system. We're going to start here because you won't find time to write if you think you shouldn't find time to write. So if you feel guilty when you do take time to move forward on the things that you want in life, like a book, then you're going to avoid it. You're gonna torture yourself unless you decide for yourself that moving forward on the things you want are valid. So one thing society definitely does not reinforce is the idea that taking time away to focus on unsubstantiated dreams is a good thing. It doesn't reward us for that. It does reward us for running ourselves ragged and burning ourselves out for others. And so take a step back, because you want to know what? You can usually do both unless you feel really guilty about taking a moment for yourself. You can do lots of nice things for lots of nice people and still do nice things for yourself, such as taking a little time to write. So I had to say that one first, because if you don't address that one, the rest of them are useless. But now that we have, let's talk about how to carve out that time. My favorite trick is, I call it strategic procrastination. So when I started writing, I was a mom and I was a full-time teacher and my kid was a toddler. So that was also kind of a chaotic situation in which I maybe should have felt guilty for any moment that I took to write. But here is how I did it. Often there would be a stack of dishes or a stack of papers that I really should be doing essays to correct. And so I probably should get right on that. But I started to notice if I had 5 hours of schoolwork to correct, I could take 1 hour for myself, for my own writing, and then I could usually get the schoolwork done in 4 hours and nobody suffered. Everything was fine. So I called this strategic procrastination because this isn't going to be every day, but there are days that if you fight for it, you can take 1 hour for yourself and take just 1 hour away from all the things that everybody else wants you to do. So that trick after belief system is strategic procrastination. So how do we make the strategic procrastination worth it? There is kind of that writer's retreat myth that unless I have a full week alone in a cabin by a lake where I don't even have my cell phone, it's not worth it. That is not true. The next thing is to set mini goals. So in my writing channel, in this YouTube channel, we have all sorts of little prompts that will help you brainstorm scenes, brainstorm outlines, find little tricks, little mini goals that you can get done that will keep your story top of mind. And so if you can only find 30 minutes, if you can only find 15 minutes, make that time work for you. And so set mini goals. Don't feel like in order to write a book, you need a year. You just need 15 minutes to an hour at a time, and you're going to be fine. So make those mini goals. So now we're on number 4. One of the ways to do mini goals and strategic procrastination is to get up early or stay up a little late. And so when I did this, when I was a school teacher and raising a toddler, I would get up before everybody else. And I wouldn't do it every day because that would be exhausting. I would choose just 1 to 3 days during a week that would be my holiday writing time, holiday all year long, because I'd make it special. I'd have a special drink. I'd have special music. I would watch the sunrise with my notebook and pen in hand. And so I put a little romance in it. And so just think, if you can make a morning like that or a late evening where you're alone, where you're working on your dream, that can be your holiday tradition. And when you make it special, it's going to be worth it. And don't exhaust yourself doing it. We can't do that every single day. Find special times. So, trick number 5, keep your story top of mind. So, the strategic procrastination, the setting mini goals, and the getting up early before everybody else or staying up late, depending on where your imagination works better, that will keep your story top of mind. And making it romantic is really important too. Making it something that you're drawn to, that you would crave. That's something you can cultivate. And it really helps to keep your story top of mind. The reason this is so valuable is because during the holiday season, weird things happen and inspiration can be anywhere. And so when your story is top of mind, you're always going to think of new ideas on a daily basis that can give you new fodder, that can give you new inspiration for your story. You may have experienced this when you're falling in love. Have you ever been in that period where you're just really into a relationship and kind of everything makes you think about that person? Like, I'm so excited to do this experience with them, or this would make a great gift for them. Just kind of that holiday romance kind of thing. Well, your story can be that way too, because underlying that feeling of connection is a lot of dopamine. And one thing dopamine does is it makes weird connections. It brings ideas together. It's a really important part of creative flow. And so if you have your story top of mind in a way that makes you crave it and validate it and just want to do more, then inspiration is going to be everywhere, and you're just going to have a great time with it. The final thing that is one of my favorite holiday recommendations for finding time to write is the honest truth, which is learn to rest and not to quit. So burnout is real, and burnout can happen during the holidays. And so if you feel like after running yourself ragged, you have just this little ounce of time and you want to use it to write, but all you can do is stare at a wall, it means you need to rest. And that rest is progress. It is physical, chemical progress toward your dreams, because it is not a good idea to burn out your cortex even more trying to force yourself to write, when if you give yourself that moment of rest, the spark and the inspiration will come back. And all those things I talked about with the connections and the feeling of romance, if you rest first, that's possible. If you don't rest, it isn't. And so this holiday season, in order to help you cultivate that feeling of connection with your story, I have 2 gifts down below. One is my motivation and time creating super pack, which also includes my chart on the step ladder out of burnout. This is the step ladder from burnout to creative flow. And so I address all sorts of practical motivational problems to help you get that spark back and make progress on your story. The other thing I just want to provide in the links below is the Writing and Yoga Staycation. This has been my all-time most signed up for free gift. And so basically it's a 7-day itinerary that you can do easily in your house every single day, has a yoga pose, a writing prompt, and an artist date. And so if you want to bring the romance back to your writing practice, try the Writing and Yoga Staycation. Do it at your house and you will be back in flow before you know it. So much love. Every single Friday, I have new prompts and advice for writing. So subscribe to the channel and I will see you next Friday too. So much love. Talk soon.